Greetings, and welcome to the Oral History segment of the Heritage School of Knowledge project, sponsored by the Preservation Society of Charleston, Burke High School Foundation, and the District 20 Principal Collaboration Program, and funded by the Charleston County School District. My name is Edie Crook, and I'm interviewing Lawrence Hugie, who is representing Hannibal's Soul Kitchen. As part of the Heritage School of Knowledge project, we're collecting historical data and information about Black-operated businesses from the 1800s to the present in an effort to share our history through our own narrative. Our purpose is to enlighten our young scholars and the community at large regarding the important contributions of African Americans in Charleston and the surrounding areas. Today's guest is the founder of Hannibal's Soul Kitchen.
My name is Lawrence J. Hugie, better known as LJ. Most of the people know me as LJ. I was born in Mount Pleasant, a place called 7 Mile, approximately 7 miles from the foot of the bridge, the old bridge back in the day. That's how you know, you know. In those days, you lived in 4 mile, 6 mile, 7 mile, 10 mile. And to give you some landmarks, 7 Mile is where Highway 17 and Highway 41 intersects. You know, the old the old Highway 41 before they cut the new one. Right. I started off at Jenny Moore Elementary on Hamlin Road, and Jenny Moore Elementary was, considered in the 7 Mile area because it's not too. We used to walk to school. All right. And from Jenny Moore School, from age from the first grade to the sixth grade. Then after that, we went to Lang High School, the old Lang High School, the Wolverines on Highway 17. Right now, it's been torn down. It's a Home Depot. Yeah, it's no longer there. Right. Well, I graduated from Lang in 1966. Right out of high school, went in the military, spent 4 years in the Air Force, came back home, went to school, used the GI Bill, went to Palmer College originally. From Palmer, went to Baptist College, the old Baptist College in North Charleston. Now they're called Charleston Southern. Take a few courses at the Citadel. And I never left, Charleston permanently, after I came back out of the military. So, so I'm here. Hannibal's Kitchen was established in 1985 by myself and my father. Okay. And the name Hannibal, they used to call my father Hannibal. So that's how we got the name. So when the business was established, I decided to name it Hannibal. It was like a slogan that I tied into the name, feeding the soul of the city, meaning that, for the most part, soul mean black people. That's how we are referred to soul food restaurant, soul food this. So the long version was serving the soul of the city, maybe serving black people of the city. Now, the new one that you just asked about, the abbreviated one, which is feeding the soul, now that my daughters of them is operating, Hannibal's Kitchen, trying to take it to the next level, they sort of abbreviated it and just say feeding the soul. So you have to ask them what that means. And at some point, you can probably talk to them. Well, I remember when I was a little boy back in the day, they used to, I think you used to call these guys peddlers. I used to work for my grand uncle. He had one of these. He had a truck. In the back of the truck, he used to sell produce and fish and fruits and breads and he used to take me with him. He used to be on the back of the truck, and we would leave 7 Mile 41, and we would go all the way to Canahoy and come back on Highway 17 and make that and just make different stops. And back in those days, you had to take the product to people. Very few people had automobiles, that can travel to Mount Pleasant or go to the city. So these guys would, They would take their fish and the produce and just start making it run. And they know that, he's coming on the weekend. So my uncle just take me along with him just to ride in the back of the truck to watch the truck when he making the deals. My father had a business also. I think it was in the 60s. He used to have one of these thing called a juke joint on Hamlin Beach in 7 Mile. And I used to help him there too. It's like, cleaning, stalking, cutting wood. I mean, and then at night when he would go home, me and a friend of mine, we would sleep on it like we act as security, so nobody would break in. And it was just, I mean, it was just, it was just natural, yeah, yeah. I've always been around business, growing up. You know what I'm saying? You know, father had a little business, little sweet shop here, there. My uncle, like I told you earlier, all right. And after high school, right out of high school, I graduated in 1966. Right out of high school, I went in the military. 4 years in military. I came back to Charleston in 1970. Alrighty. I used the GI Bill, went to school, went to business school, take some business course, got a degree in accounting, and I pursued it a little further. Went to Baptist College and a few courses here and there. I didn't get a chance to finish. I think about 9 hours for finishing, but at some point I may go back and get that 9 hours, get my little bachelor's degree, have my little diploma on the wall. And in 1970, I came back home. My last 19 months of the military, I was in the Air Force. I was stationed in England, right? The disco was a big thing then in England. That was 1970. There was that disco thing going on. So when I came back home, I had all my equipment. I had my Bose speakers. I had my Gerard turntables. I had my Akaya tape recorders and all that stuff like that. And came back home, man. So I was ready. And when I came back in 1970, my father, he was getting ready to open up another juke joint. Okay? That was 1970. So, being that, I like math, I'm good at numbers, and, so he said, I want to open this thing up. So I said, okay, I'm here. I'm going to work along with you, as long as you want me to, because I was going to school and I was working on a part-time job, doing the same time. So he opened this business. It's in the 4 Mile area, Mount Pleasant, on Venning Road, right off of 17, and we named the place Stacy's Lounge. Okay, 1970, called Stacy's Lounge. And Stacy's is the name of one of my brother. Okay, from 1970. So I helped my father in that business because I was going to school up the GI Bill, working some part-time work. As a matter of fact, I had a job then. Let me see. Yeah, I was working at the Naval Shipyard and all. Yeah, I started Naval Shipyard in 1973, so I was working. So I just helped him on weekend with ideas and did all the paperwork for him, and kept him legal and make sure everything was right, keep his taxes and stuff all set up. And he was a longshoreman. My father he worked on the waterfront. Okay. Prior to that, he used to be a merchant seaman. 1976. He said, look here, I had enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to finish up on the waterfront. You know what I'm saying? That you can go ahead and try your hand. 1976. So, the first part of 76, I think I went to the credit union, borrowed $5,000 and put a little facelift on his Stacy's Lounge, changed the name, and they called it East Cooper Disco. Opened up in July 2nd, 1976. The building is still there now. You know what I'm saying? And it's still East Cooper Disco. That's almost 47, 48 years ago. So basically that's where I started at. Okay. And that was in 1976. I left the shipyard, Naval Shipyard, in about 1980 to pursue to get out here in the private sector full time as an entrepreneur. Okay. Since then, when I left there, Me and a friend of mine, we opened up, because I've always been around, like restaurant, bar business, club, nightclub, Yeah. I also dabble a little real estate because I like to buy property. You know what I'm saying? Because my grandmother said, hey, you don't know anything about the stock market. So he said, hey, if you get yourself some extra money, boy, go buy yourself some land, they ain't making no more. That's the advice she gave me. So that's why I got involved in the real estate business because I like land, I like building, I like dirt, I like things I can see. I don't know anything about the stock market, so hey, that's a safe bet. It has worked for me ever since. But I ran the disco from 76 to 80. I mean, it was very successful. I mean, yeah, you ask anybody about it. Right now, people know about it. Right now, we're going through the fourth generation reopen right now. And, my daughters and my younger children, so, they do little activities over there right now. I still help them with it. But from there, like I said, in 1976, I ran that. I left the shipyard in 1980. Started pursuing getting the business myself. I've had several ventures since then. Started the disco. Me and a friend of mine ran a place downtown. We used to call it City Lights on East Spear Street. That was about 83, 84. 1985, we opened up Hannibal's Kitchen. All right, I bought Hannibal's Kitchen in 1984. It was already an established business. It was always established business there. It used to be Martha's Restaurant. You know what I'm saying? They used to be around since the 60s, right across from C.A. Brown School. Okay, they'll tell you a story about it. It just happened so they were getting older and they're getting ready to get out of it, and and my father knew, the gentleman and the young lady who actually opened and established the place. You know what I'm saying? So I said, well, dang, well, sounds like a good bet. So we bought the business in 1985. I, I changed the name from Miss Martha to Hannibal's Kitchen, which they call my father Hannibal. All right, so I set everything up, and him and my brother Jesse, they were like on hands. They were there all the time. They worked it, they run it. My old man would cook and clean fish, and so he handled that. And that was about 85, 86. I was still at the disco in Mount Pleasant, helping him with that and doing that. 1987, I opened up a club, restaurant bar club, West Ashley, called Visions, 1377 Ashley River Road. Ran that for about 5 or 6 years. Had another one down the street called New View. Anybody in the Charleston area, my age was coming up during that time, you know, they knew about that. Okay. When I left Visions downtown, 1989, once I left Visions, 88, 89, 93, 94, something like that. But then, 1989, that's when Hugo came in. Okay, Hugo came in about 1989, and I think we had some extra insurance money, so I bought a spot on King Street, 587 King Street. Okay, people know about that one too. I put a restaurant and bar in there, 587 King Street. We used to call it LJ's, which is my name, LJ Hughie, and we called it Hughie's at one time, which is my last name, Hughie's. Ran that for a while. We sold that. I got rid of that in 2014, almost 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? The business is still on King Street right now, thriving. It's another entity that's actually doing that. Yeah, right now. So what I'm doing now presently is I help my daughters that's actually running, operating Hannibal's, and they have their own dreams of how they want to take it to the next level. So I'm sort of behind the scenes, just help them, support them, working for nothing. They give me a little stipend every now and then, but everything cool. It's all right. I got something to eat, so everything cool there. So maybe 3 years ago, I think I got a little bored, and I went and bought a place in North Charleston. So my present venture right now, I got a seafood market on Rivers Avenue. 4726 called Family Seafood Market. We sell raw seafood. It used to be a seafood market before. So it's sort of low. It's just something I'm playing with. We haven't been doing a whole lot of marketing with it. And just getting it set up, getting prepared for the next generation who want to come by and take this baton and take it to the next level. Let me just go on and chill out and take it easy. But when I see opportunity, some people don't see it right there and then. When I see opportunity and I have the ability to deal with it, I'll go ahead and I'll get it, build it and set it up. But yeah, I'm ready to. At my age, I'm ready to back up a little bit and slow down a little bit. So maybe some of my other children want to get involved. If it's not another children or a cousin or friend, anybody who get in there and work hard and they really want to make something happen out of life. If I can give you opportunity, I would, and I would help. So at this stage of the game, this is where I'm at right now. So Hannibal's doing all right. East Scuba Disco in Mount Pleasant, we still open. We just do that on the weekend. We open the kitchen up every now and then, but we haven't opened up since Hugo. Not since Hugo, since COVID. So we just do a little something on the weekend just to make enough money to pay the taxes and insurance, keep it going. It still has potential, still can make money because it's got a good reputation. Because I take my business serious. I run it straight, I run it honest, fair, customer service. And that's where I'm at.